Is up, everybody? This is Keith, Go Back Get Guy 231 across the DFS industry. Hope you all had a great Sunday. Most of us probably did not have nearly as great a Sunday as my partner in soccer crime, Tindrell Storm. So I want to start out, shout out to Storm, won 20K and one of the GPPs. And the reason I actually want to bring it up, beyond just giving him a huge shout out for an amazing build, but the lines that he made some of the most money on were in trouble, and he made a ton of pivots, decided that it's better to try to win a GPP than it is to just bubble or to just min cash. So kudos to Storm for pivoting off chalk and taking it down. So just want to start out with that. Congrats, buddy, and looking forward to more wins and hopefully getting one of my own. And I'm sure you all are as well. That is the goal here. And this is an interesting slate coming up tomorrow. I think the hardest part of the slate is that Spain, the biggest favorite, but also a team that had the COVID protocols and already doesn't have the most trying to think of the right word, predictable lineup, is last. So it's going to make things a little difficult. It's going to take you really projecting and thinking about your lineup and thinking about what the pivots. If I play Ferran Torres and he's not in, who can I pivot to at the forward spot? Or if I play Thiago and he's not, who can I pivot to? Oh, go on. That's going to be the tough part. Hopefully we'll get some more news overnight and in the morning. I'm re-looking at some projected lineups. So I'm going to be just going off of, didn't have a ton of time to dig into different projected lineups. Just going to go off of what SofaScore shows here. Kind of, again, introduce you to the players like I've been doing on all of these preview videos. For the first round and second round, get a lot more into roster construction. All right. So that is the plans for today. Be an interesting slate. Just a quick reminder, subscribe, and comment. It all really does help. Keep growing FSI. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We're going to be doing soccer every single day. And if you are interested in joining, hit the link. Plans for low is $4 a day. We'll definitely suggest a week. We cover every single slate on Draftkings and FanDuel. Cannot beat the value, including the Copa America that's going on now. All right, let's jump into the games. And before we go into the games, we're going to do prize picks. First off, thanks again for our prize pick being an awesome partner of FSI. Really want you all to, we crushed the prize pick yesterday. We had Dumfries over 3.1. He scored a goal. We had Alaba over, 3.6, 3.7. Both guys went over at half before even the goal or assist. So that was an awesome way to see it. And one of the greatest things about prize picks, like I've mentioned before, is we only have to hit 1 out of 3 to break even. If you hit 2 out of 3, you're in the money, right? So it is really cool how they set up that 3-to-1 structure to get you going. Let me make sure I set that up here. All right, let's talk about my 2 picks today. Thomas Souček is my favorite prize picks of the day. As of recording, it's 8:24 on, what the hell night is it? Sunday night. All we have up right now are Scotland and Czech Republic, but I love Souček. I will not be surprised if I'm playing him in as many different props that I can throughout the day. Let me just go over the stats for 3.5. So just keep in mind, too, with the scoring chart for soccer, goals +5, +4 for assists. We can't project goals, right? But if we shot on target is 2, okay, so that matters. And then the biggest thing for midfielders and center backs is completed passes. Especially midfielders and center backs get very, very short passes, so high completion rate. And a lot of times if a game is very, very strategic, tactical, however you want to say it, you have a lot of square passing, especially for midfielders and center backs. Tom Souček is a deeper line midfielder, gets on the ball a lot. So every pass he completes is 0.1 points. We only have 3 point, let me get back. Oh, I went back too far. My bad. This is showing my my computer savvy here, right? So Souček is 3.5. So we need 35 completed passes. Obviously, you lose 1 for incomplete passes, but let's say 42, 43 passes. Here is Souček's averages. In the World Cup qualifying, 48.3 completed accurate passes, 2.3 shots. That's big, right? 1 shot on goal and we're golden. In the Nations League, 48 passes, 1.5 shots. In Euro qualifying, 48.1, 2.9. Love the play. Give me all the over. Callum McGregor might surprise you. You might not even know who that is. Let me just tell you a little bit about McGregor. He's going to be playing beside Andy Robertson, which is a big deal to me because Scotland is going to be focusing on their best player, who we're going to talk about for the DFS side. A lot more action goes to the left than does go to the right. Well, that means the build-up play, because Andy Robertson's a little bit further up the pitch, the build-up play is going to be through McGregor and through the left side of that Scotland midfield. McGregor in World Cup qualifying averaged 41.7 passes, 0.7 shots per game, 26.2 in Nations League, not so good, 0.6 shots. But back to Euro qualifying, that was the biggest sample, 46.4 accurate passes and 1.1 shots. So again, 3.2, if we're at 46.4, that's a really good shot. And for his club, just for perspective, 70.5 accurate passes a game. That is for Celtic, who dominates a lot in the Scottish Premier League. But those are good numbers at 3.2. I really like that. But again, Souček is my favorite play. As more goes, in the Discord, I will be posting. We have an awesome props Discord that's completely free. Really, really encourage you to try it out. All right, let's get to the football. First game is Scotland versus Czech Republic. It is a very, very square game, plus 170. It is hovering around a 2 total. Both teams to score, no is where the weight is. So we have, realistically, a lot of people are thinking 1-0, one way or another, or 0-0. Andy Robertson is the lock of this play from the Scotland side. He takes almost all their set pieces. You could see McGinn sneak on some, but he really hasn't. I haven't seen Fraser predicted. I haven't seen Ryan Christie predicted. If you see either one of those two guys, I don't even know if they're in the squad. Okay, so sorry if I didn't look at the whole Scotland squad. But if they're in, both of them could split with Andy Robertson. But if neither of them are, Andy Robertson might be on Monopoly. He's less than 6K. He's a wingback. I don't know what else you want to say. He's Liverpool too. Come on, my team. So I love Andy Robertson. He'll be in almost any lineup I make. The rest of Scotland is very, very GPP, in my opinion. O'Donnell's probably the only other player at the floor. John McGinn I like a lot, but he plays in more attacking roles, so he kind of is going to be in between here as kind of like a pseudo 10. Great GPP play, but he's going to need a goal or assist to get there. Otherwise, I think he's going to get you like 5 to 60K, which is fine, but we're obviously shooting for more. That's really all I have to say about the Scotland side. Czech Republic, set pieces should be Vladimir Darida and Janku as well. I've seen both take from both sides, so it's just kind of whoever is over or closest to the ball sometimes. But Darida is the preferred set taker between the two. Janku, though, plays in the more DFS-friendly role, being out wide, getting some chances for open play crosses. Vladimir Kufal is a fantastic fullback for West Ham, was one of the signings of the season in the Premier League. He really likes to attack. Jan Borrell is cheap, but he does not get forward as much. He's still solid for a cheap defender punt, which you very well may need here, especially depending on what you want to do with Lewandowski. But yeah, that's those plays. Patrick Schick, good striker, but he's going to need a goal. Again, in this game where we're not really expecting goals, it's just tough to target a striker and take on that risk. So I'm probably not going to be doing that. But, Schick, Adams, Dykes, all playable. And then Souček, if you just want like a deep GPP play, I just talked about for prize pick, but Souček is like an absolute beast on set pieces. A great GPP correlation play would be to pair him with Janko or Darida, but he's huge. He's a forward for every set piece, and he's their main target. So look for that. All right, I think that I covered that game. Let's go to Poland and Slovakia. Let's just get this out of the way. On 2 of the 3 slates so far, it has been, would Cheryl Immobile score? Was the big thing for Italy. If you played him, great, you did great. If you faded him, you probably lost. So goal or bust, hit goal. Romelu Lukaku actually did very, very little other than his 2 goals. If you had him, great. If you didn't, you probably didn't cash. This slate tomorrow, Robert Lewandowski. If he scores 1, I think you can survive as long as you did okay with a floor from your other forward spot. But if he scores 2 goals, you are dead in the water. He will be super chalk. He'll be over 50% owned, and he needs a goal. And we were talking in the FSI Discord before I jumped on, and this isn't Bayern Munich, okay? Poland is a good team, but Poland's like in the Bundesliga would probably not be in promotion without Lewandowski. Like everything is going towards him, but that the defense knows that too. Like he doesn't have Thomas Muller, he doesn't have Kingsley Coman, he doesn't have Joshua Kimmich, he doesn't have Leroy Sané. Like just name the stud, and probably most importantly, he doesn't have Thomas Muller. They always link up. That's why Thomas Muller calls Robert Lewandowski. As only Thomas Muller can do. I can't even, fully give it the sarcasm that it deserves coming out of Thomas Muller's mouth. But I say all this to say, I'm probably in cash going to fade him. I faded Immobile in cash, was a disaster. I faded Lukaku in cash, was a disaster. This is kind of like World Cup repeating, like just fading the chalk goal scorer. So maybe I just should do it, right? It's just not my style. We'll see. I think the hardest part I've noticed in the slate, though, is that forward after, I'm going to bring up Ferran Torres as a core play. But after Ferran Torres, it's tough. So, I think a lot of people are going to be like, do you go a second Spain forward that gives you maximum flexibility, or do you go Lewandowski? And I think that's going to decide the slate. All right. So if you play Lewandowski in cash, of course, I have no problem with it. Just, you need at least one goal. And realistically, at his price tag, you're looking for a goal and assist, or 2 goals, or a goal and 3-4 shots, something like that. All right, Peter Zielinski is a core play for me. The Napoli man is absolutely awesome. Takes the majority of their set pieces. Is a maestro in terms of creating chances, finding gaps, taking. He's not like a super high volume shooter, but he has no problem taking a shot. I just think he's just really solid at sub 7K. I saw Luka Modric was popular today. That killed me because I ended up playing Baumgartner from Austria, who had a good chance early on, didn't convert it, was dead otherwise. Modric didn't do much of the game. Croatia was dominated. Blah, blah, blah. I feel like I got that right, that England-Croatia game, saying that Croatia isn't as good as people give them credit for. But Modric still got there. He still got 10 DK. And so for cash games was pretty popular. And that differentiation of 7 points was killer. My biggest, I'm just tilting out loud, so sorry for the segue. My biggest tilt was I was Omer or Dumfries. Had Dumfries last night. Was just like, if I'm all in on Austria, if I give him the chance, why wouldn't I play Omer too? And did it. And whoops, Dumfries had 24, 25 DK. That, would have been a huge swing. But anyhow, Peter Zielinski, great play. Mulder and I don't know how to say his name. I need Evan Pro to tell me the Polish way to say it, but Jaszwick, the guy from Derby, they could end up splitting some sets with Zielinski. Both guys can take some sets, but those would be secondary plays to me. Jaszwick, though, playing as a wingback, he's really, really active. In a game that Poland dominated, he had 17 crosses, so he has no problem. I don't know much about Pucek over there. I did find some game logs where he crosses the ball, so it's not like he has a dead foot or a lead foot, or whatever that term is. So I think he's fine. Those are your plays from Poland. On the Slovakia side, sets are likely going to be either Hamšík or Mach. The last time they both played together, they didn't have any corners, so it's kind of hard to say. Hamšík takes for his club, Mach takes for his club. It could be a split. Hamšík is the guy that we know, he's the Slovakia legend. Mach, it does have the little bit more open play. I think Mach is forward eligible too, right? Yeah, at 6,800, so it's fine, right? It's a set taking potentially forward, but I would probably rather. Why do I think Hamšík was 4,600? Some dyslexia there. I mean, both of those are tough. Zielinski over both of them, easy. I guess it just depends on the secondary. What you have left, right? And hey, I just realized I'm on the screen. There's your core: Ferran Torres, Zielinski, Robertson, and we're gonna get to Spain and Sweden now. So based on this lineup, sets are probably Ferran Torres or Pedri. I don't see nobody else in the pitch take sets, so it would be one of those two. There's a decent chance that they go short, but Ferran Torres, great player, Man City. Every time I talk about Ferran Torres, the first thing that comes to mind is the 3 goals versus Germany. I think it was in either Nations League or Euro qualifying. I think it was Nations League, but Ferran Torres is an unbelievable player. Didn't really ever get to show it at Man City, just didn't get the run. But he's forward eligible. He's 8,900. He's on the biggest favorite. Spain's minus 303, and that's actually the biggest total of the day. Total is hovering around 2.5. I just want Ferran Torres. I know that you need at least one Spain forward. You're going to really struggle to fill your forward spots otherwise. For me, it's Torres. Gerard Moreno is phenomenal player. Not for Valencia, for Villarreal. The V's always get me, especially playing out wide. Just always links up. He's just a crafty player when you watch him. I'm sure Morata will get some ownership too, but I really like Gerard Moreno. I think he's a really, really class player. Is Pedri forward eligible? For some reason, Pedri, at 5,200, but he's midfield only. So I think he's solid, right? Especially if you want to do Pedro. You plug in Thiago and you don't have Pedri there, then it becomes. You don't have Thiago in, it becomes Pedri. You could do something like that. But if Thiago's in, Thiago takes some set pieces for Spain too. He never will touch one for Liverpool, but he does for Spain. Other thing, with Spain, they take a lot short. And I guess one other thing from a playing style, Spain is very pragmatic. very much in terms of build up, tons and tons and tons of passes. I'll be very interested on prize picks to see what the passing for their center backs and Rodri are, because they are just going to pass the ball to death. Even to Alba, Cesar Azpilicueta. I remember back in World Cup, I think it was Alba and Sergio Ramos. This is, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. They each had over 100 passes in a game. Sweden is very defensive minded. Is probably going to play on the counter. Sweden's a good team, but I do think that they're going to be kind of overwhelmed by the possession here, and Spain's going to have a ton of passes. So I think that about does it. Marcus Llorente for GPP is fine. Azpilicueta, Alba, all, just quote unquote fine to me. Like they're cash plays, but nothing too special. Morata is going to be goal or bust. For Sweden, Forsberg and Augustinsson are going to be the set piece takers. They will split. We've also seen Larson take some in the past, but in the last friendly, Forsberg took over him, so I'm going to put the weight on that. Larson also took a PK and missed it, tilted my face off. So I would guess that he does not get that chance this time. Former legend, God, I'm blanking on his name. Last the World Cup, Sweden was the team that, God, that's going to bug me. I don't know his name. Not Ekdal. Yeah, I can't think of it. But anyhow, Sweden had like 2 or 3 PK goals in there. Grunquist, maybe. I don't know. Somebody correct me. It'll bug me all night, and I probably will forget to go look at it. But it'll bug me when I'm not thinking it, but not by my phone. That's how it goes. But I think he had like 2 PKs, 3 PKs, something like that. Killed me every single time. Got to like 5,200. People still played him. Of course, gets PK. So hopefully not this time. Doesn't look like he's in the squad. So everybody else GPP, like they're cash viable, just not for Spain. I'm not going on my way to target Sweden pieces. Maybe a good play is if you're way behind, right? Going to the final game, as pivoting off of some Spain for a Sweden piece that could help you make up. All right, final bit, just one last look. Got Ferran Torres, Peter Zinslewski, and Andrew Robertson as my 3 core plays. And that'll do it. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to check out PrizePick. If you do promo code, I forgot, promo code FSI, shocker, I know. But it's really fun. I'm getting more and more into it as I talk with them about doing more and more of this on the channel. And really enjoying it. Have a pretty decent Copa position that I'm going to check on when I get out of here. But that'll do it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. Good luck tomorrow. With that, I'll say, see you.